Our final inductee tonight is Marc Tramuta. Marc, I'm sorry your name begins with a T, but we're finally there. Our next inductee is a 1988 graduate of Fredonia Central School and was a first-team All-CCIAC shortstop for the Hillbillies. Following high school, he took his baseball skills to St. Bonaventure, where he was selected second-team Atlantic 10 League All-Star as a walk-on middle infielder. In 1991, he was drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers, playing 32 games for the Yakima Bears in the Northwest League. His professional career as a baseball scout started in 1996 with the Baltimore Orioles. Subsequent years saw Marc working as a scout for the Toronto Blue Jays, and in 2012 joined the New York Mets scouting department, where in 2016 was promoted to his current position of Director of Amateur Scouting, overseeing 20 scouts in the Mets organization, a position that has him traveling all over the country evaluating the skills of high school and college baseball players. At this time, please welcome Marc Tramuta as a 2022 inductee into the Chicago Sports Hall of Fame.
Chip is right. I have a 10 a.m. to Phoenix tomorrow, so I just got back from being on the road for 3 weeks and fortunate enough to be here. But I'd like to first begin by thanking the Chicago Sports Hall of Fame committee and its members. Randy, thank you very much. Chip, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be inducted tonight. Also, a little neat thing for me, I have 3 family members who are also inducted. My uncle Mike Tramuta, my cousins Dave and Pete Crishone, also in the Hall of Fame. I hope someday that my late uncle, Gerald Tramuta Jr. would get into the Hall of Fame at some point. You know, I did one of these about 7 years ago. I got an award as the Mid-Atlantic Scouts Association Scout of the Year, and I didn't get through it. So I'm going to try after that little hiccup right there to get through this for you. I know I'm the last one. I have many people to thank that have helped me along this journey, as all of us athletes that have been up here tonight. It's in all likelihood, and all of the honorees, all the young men that received awards tonight, I'm sure that all of us have had good teachers and coaches along the way. The first one that started me on this journey was my father. At about 6 years old, started my baseball career. I think he's the only one that still thinks I can play in the big leagues, so I appreciate that, Dad. But no, he coached me from when I was 6 years old up until I was about 15 years old. It was a very, very big influence on my baseball career. So thank you, Dad. I want to thank my mom. Just like some of the mothers that were talked about here probably went to as many games as anybody in my college and my high school playing career. So I thank her for that, for sitting on the hill at St. Bonaventure in 30-degree weather every single weekend in the spring. So she was a very, very big influence and still is to this day. I'd like to thank my grandpa Velvo, my mom's father, who never once got mad at me in all of my youth years for literally breaking every single window on his garage, throwing the baseball against it. So up in heaven, thank you. Again, I was very, very fortunate to play for several good coaches in my playing career. One of them is here tonight, Pete Crishone, who coached me at varsity baseball at Fredonia High School. After that, I had 0 scholarship offers as a high school player. I was a 5'9", 145-pound, no-hit shortstop. And one guy saw something in me, and that was Larry Sedbrook from St. Bonaventure, who gave me a guaranteed walk-on spot as a freshman. And subsequently, I played 2 more years there before signing with the Dodgers, but I earned a scholarship in my second and third year. So he was probably the biggest influence after I left high school on getting into have the opportunity to be drafted and play professional baseball. My professional playing career was over pretty much in a blink of an eye. Like I said, I signed in 1991 with the Dodgers, signed by Bob Miskey, who also had signed my cousin, Mike Crishone, in 1965. So that was a nice, neat thing for the family at that time. But it only lasted about a year. Like I said, I was a no-hit, and that continued with the wood bat. I couldn't hit at all. So, but after that, I knew that it was either go back to college and coach, or I wanted to stay in professional baseball. So the one way, and I thought scouting, I really enjoyed the challenging part of the evaluation of professional baseball. So I asked around a lot of the scouts that had seen me play in college and asked them, how do I get into scouting? But before I did that, I wanted to go back. I finished my degree at St. Bonaventure, and I coached 2 years there as the recruiting coordinator. And then, again, one man, Jim Howard, who was a longtime scout with the Baltimore Orioles, gave me my first break in 1996 and was subsequently hired by Gary Nichols at the time. I know none of these names will mean much to anybody, but I wanted to thank them. He was the Oriole scouting director, and that got me started in my career. And I was an Oriole fan growing up because, as I said, my cousin Dave Grisham got to the big leagues with the Orioles, so it was really great. I lived in Baltimore, I worked for the Orioles, and as an Oriole fan, so it was a really neat 7 years there. I moved on and followed one of my friends to the Toronto Blue Jays for 9 years as an area scout, and then I was promoted to a national cross-checker after that. And then finally, again, I had a friend that I worked with Toronto, Tommy Tanis, who went to the New York Mets, and he brought me over as assistant scouting director. And then in 2016, I was promoted to my current role as director of amateur scouting with the New York Mets. I'm very proud that that a kid from a small town is one of only 30 scouting directors in Major League Baseball. So, sorry, I'm going over 5 minutes. Sarah, I told you I was good at this, and now I'm breaking up. So, lastly, though, I do want to thank my daughter Callie, who's here. At Scouts, you know, we're on the road probably 220 days a year. So, you know, she's 8 years old, and I probably missed half her life already. But she's finally understood what it's like to be in this job and embraced it now. And she's an athlete herself. She just took first place in a gymnastics competition last week. So congratulations, honey. I love you. I knew I was so hoping I wouldn't do this. I feel like, Mike was mentioning the Eagles, I feel like I'm Dick Vermeil. So those of you that know Dick Vermeil, he always cried at press conferences, so I'm no different. But again, I just want to close with, I was so happy to be inducted into this class because I remember growing up and hearing stories about Louis Mack and excuse me, and how much, you know, he was my Uncle Mike's favorite player, and also Sarah Burnett, who I've known her family for about 30 years. Two of her cousins are two of my best friends, excuse me. So I apologize for this. I'm trying to get through this. But again, thank you to the committee, all my family and friends who have helped me along this journey. And I wish everybody else continued success, especially the young men that received awards tonight too. So God bless everybody. Thank you.